Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It is the 12th of November. For those tuning in for the first time on X or Twitter, this is exactly what we do every morning in our U, and we just wanted to give you basically a taste of how we build out our watch list every single morning. Right, so let's get stuck into it. Up first, Nate, take it away.
Right or no?
Sorry,
There we
my
go.
bad.
No worries. All right. Yeah. So first and foremost, obviously, we had a little bit of a gap down. We had probably, I don't know, 24 A plus setups, but we just needed that gap up parabolic. And then instead we got a nice gap down. So obviously you got to adjust a little bit on the fly. Adjustment can just be patience until open. Watch your sizes until open. Try not to get too aggressive prior to 9:45, 10 a.m. plus. I feel like that first trade off the open, although you may be dead right, within 5, 10, 15 minutes, you'll be dead wrong. So just think about more of a macro view in this current market environment when the cycle is super hot. Also understand where sectors and themes kind of outweigh what really matters. So for example, as long as Bitcoin's pushing, things are going to continue to be a little bit crazy. Yesterday we talked about using sort of Tesla as a guide for the DXYZ trade, right? And, you can kind of see that they pretty much traded in tandem. Then you're looking for some relative weakness versus what Tesla is doing. You can also see that Tesla and Bitcoin have been kind of hand in hand as well, just like last run when Tesla went up to like 500 before they did the split. And Bitcoin, I think, was at the highs at that point too. So anyway, just understand what you're trading. And remember, just because, I like MSTR or I like Mara does not mean that that's the right one for you. So make sure that you're also looking at names like, BTCT, as well as, Mara, CLSK, IREN. All of these are all different styles, different price ranges, coin, all for the same thing. So if you've got Bitcoin up, which you should have a chart of Bitcoin up. You're going to have all these potential trades that come off of whether or not Bitcoin goes back up to the highs or if it flushes under 85, 84 and starts to create some panic and profit taking. So for me, I like Mara and MSTR. I really like MSTR, especially Fridays on the option opportunities sometimes on that. But for the most part, I'll be watching probably BTCT as some sort of parabolic kind of move off the open, ideally like a clear out of prior highs. So typically I kind of look left in ideal situation would be some sort of 470 to $5 kind of parabolic blowout move. And then I'd start to get interested after it pulled back under 470s. But my focus this morning so far, GNS, obviously, I had posted, I got short at 104 in the chat. This is a known, bullshit kind of company that they just whatever's hot is what their PR is about, and they basically said they're going to use their ATM proceeds to put, into Bitcoin, which assuming that you sell all the paper, they're just trying to mimic the micro strategy. So whatever that one is, MSTR. I think that's kind of funny, but either way, I'm short. Ideally, it just goes red, but obviously cautious. The other main watches, GME. I mentioned GME, Palantir, and SoFi as sort of my main watches, as well as DXYZ. Those are the top four for me. What I want to see, I'm a little hesitant on DXYZ just because it reminds me a lot of DJT. I had said yesterday, go back and check out the DJT move on the second day, where we had a little bit of a gap down and then it rallied back up and then it faded off. What I'm looking for, some sort of rally, some sort of blow off on 37 and then fail to follow through from there. But GME and Palantir and SoFi all just sort of the same sort of goals mentality is higher the better failed follow through. I'm not sized up yet. You have to have room off the open in case they swipe, but those will be my focus if they stay heavy 9:45 10 a.m plus. And then like some of the long side type stuff, I mean, I don't like chasing this up here. Friday, my goal on this trade was as a potential either duo, which we had over here, or something like FFIE, which I'm not trying to say that it's going to go to the moon, but this was a move basically from dime to $4 or higher at the time. So I think more recent duo would be probably a good example of the potential. But that's the goal there on Foxo. But again, just like I said yesterday, I am not a buyer into strength. I bought the flush after the circuit down yesterday. And like I said, it's big picture move. My goal is kind of let this work out. And any big parabolic moves I'd be selling into, but definitely not a breakout buy. So far, every single breakout has been followed with some sort of correction of some sort. And I also think the more you trade it, the higher average is going to be, and your patience is going to go away. So to me, I think the benefit is keep a solid average. Yes, trim some along the way, but just make sure that you're not chasing breakouts and screwing up your game plan just by scalping it too many times. So that's pretty much what I'm watching. So the main watch is PLTR, SoFi, GME. All higher the better. I'd throw in some DXYZ if we get some sort of clear out. But remember, the last thing I'm going to leave you with is that we are still in a crazy euphoric kind of market. So you can be a short seller. There's lots of great opportunities. It's really not too difficult to get a good entry right now. It's all about the cover. And there's been a lot of nails. It flushes down. And then 5, 10, 20 minutes later, you're back to highs. So just make sure you're trading what it's giving, not what you want to see. And that's really the biggest part about this market right now. It's a good market, but not if you're not locking in. So back to you, Sam. But that's my focus for today.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Nate. Let's head straight over to Emil. Emil, take it away.
Yeah, morning everyone. A few things for me this morning on radar. One of those stocks I'm watching is Tesla. This has been on my radar for, since started to speed up, and yesterday already gap up, and I was expecting to see it, showing more weakness, but despite that, being pretty strong and also into close. Now, since we already had this gap up and big snap in pre-market, now reclaim pretty much yesterday's VWAP area, which were already been tested a few times yesterday since pre-market. I am going to watch for any reactive trades against that area. So any pops against these levels, risking more or less red to green. I would really like to see it, even if it's going to push 350. I would like to see stuff there and then add more in order to keep this short bias. Now, not really interested in long it by any means. So my bias is only short. So not looking for, even if it's going to bounce, I'm going to previous levels to base my risk off. Then I'm looking at PLTR, Palantir. Same thing here. Big run up in the past few days. So if it's going to push back against 60 area, 59.50, or even red to green, I'm going to be interested in a short already. Quite rejected that area, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it pushing higher after the open. But even if it does that, again, looking at red to green VWAP area from yesterday, that would be ideal. On the other hand, if it's going to have some small pops and tape continue to be heavy, I won't be shy to hit it if I spot that type of weakness. NVIDIA. I've been looking at this level, already had a trade here, but cut it off. I'm looking more or less at 146.50-ish for a short. So if after the open, it's going to stuff, gets under 146, I'm going to reshort pops and obviously looking for some sort of an unwind. It's quite extended, and I would be surprised, to be quite honest, to see it grinding all the way back to new highs. But everything is possible. So any stuff looking for reactive trades to short, and I'm okay to short pops as long as it's going to stay heavy, and definitely not looking to fight the trend, especially if it's going to reclaim yesterday highs. Then looking at a few small caps, XBP is one of them. This one, despite the fact had a big push after hour and had some pushbacks in pre-market already, but still has this type of perky action. So even though I'm looking for a short, I'm not really I don't really like this type of setup, and I would really like to see a push towards 2. That would be ideal, and mostly not interested to short it out of the gate. So I'm going to let it unfold for a bit, maybe 9:45 or even 10 a.m. Type of trade, and with a better risk reward. And the last one is BTCT. That again, it's pushing. So if it's going to have a squeeze towards 6, I'm going to be interested early in the morning, looking for any stuffy action. But if it's going to play around, most likely going to leave it alone for a bit and wait maybe 10 a.m. But since the range is pretty big, there's a lot of meat on the bone, so not necessarily looking to catch the top. So yeah, pretty much that's it for me today, guys. Good luck, and back at you, Sam.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emil. And just before we head over to Judah, if you are enjoying this, head over to investorsunderground.com to find out more. And just a reminder, this is not investment advice. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Right. Judah, last but not least, take it away.
Good morning. So I just want to remind everybody that, this is pretty much day 5, day 6 of, the moves that we're kind of having in a lot of names. Coin, Tesla, MSTR. I mean, a lot of these things are getting extended, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that. And throughout the day, I'm going to keep that in mind, that we should have either a couple of days of pullback or some sort of just sideways movement. So I don't want to really fight trend on the long side, but things that I'm watching, BAER had some earnings last night. It made a decent move after hours, but settling here. If it could trend that all off open, or if we flush a little bit into this daily key of around 4, then I'll look to maybe take that on the long side. RNA had this PR out this morning. It's pretty quiet, but I mean, we've been kind of basing nicely here for the past 4 or 5 months. So if this could quietly build out and trend, then I'd have some interest in taking this breakout. As PPL was on scans the last few days for some sort of reversal, and then we got a PR this morning, which it's not really doing much, but it's bringing some volume into it. So if we could hold over this one level and start to trend, I think we could potentially get some sort of daily continuation and blow off. We had 400 million volume here and slowly drying up, and now it's coming back in. So some sort of continuation there. And FOXO, initially this kind of reminded me of Lucy back here, where we get that huge move from 25 cents to like $1. Gaps down, and then it clears out that day one highs, and then it just fades off, which FOXO was initially doing. And I mean, every time it just faded, it came back, and now we're back here at $1. So if we build over $1 and this 105 soaks, personally, in my opinion, I wouldn't be shocked to see like the 160s, 180s level hit. So if we really hold at 1 and start to trend, then I'll take that potentially with tight risk. SPCE, one that had a decent pivot yesterday, was trending all day. I mean, clearly we could see how it's been like in this consolidation done here for quite some time. So any trend to join for continuation in that breakout, I'll be interested, especially with, you know, ASTS and RKLB, CETA, which had some press release this morning. I believe BAER is also in that aerospace, so just keep an eye on that for some sort of breakout and continuation. DJT, I'm looking for some sort of pretty much 34 type of build and continuation on this bounce. 34 has been key throughout the recent moves, so look to take that for some sort of bounce. EYPT is just some sort of biotech which had news back here and now just consolidating, so I'm looking for that, you know, given this type cup and handle type of daily. LAC, similar type of daily, had some great volume here. Starting to tighten up, and yesterday had a decent trend as well. That's now starting to perk back out. So any trend over there, I look to join maybe 425 plus. These three LTBR, ACLO, SMR are just continuation type setups that are pulling back a few days into the moving average, and it's kind of soaking certain levels. So I'm interested if, you know, a little higher, maybe 875s 9 could reclaim and build for this continuation, and then OKLO and SMR, which were fading a little bit before, like 20 minutes ago. But if ACLO could, you know, build a little bit, 2375, 24 reclaim for continuation, I'll look for that there. And then SMR, if we could just kind of similar price levels, 2375, 24, then I'll look for, you know, that continuation with it. And then, I mean, in that basket, we just got NNE, which would probably move, I mean, with the rest of the basket, but my my focus, and this is gapping down now, but my focus, if we continue, would be OKLO SMR. Otherwise, maybe a few more days and some longer term consolidation for real moves. And that's pretty much most of my watch for today.
Brilliant. Thank you, Judah. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Emil. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If it was your first time and you want to find out more, go to investorsunderground.com. Tons on watch today, guys. Make sure you trade them well.